in the mid game in terms of getting that Scotty. It's another kiting mechanism for the Ursa, and you're removing this carry Dawn from that Ursa matchup, which I think is pretty good here too. So yeah, I like the overall draft. I can see the logic in all of KBU's picks here trying to respond to what Wildcard were doing from that first pick. It makes sense to me. So just going to come down to execution.
Well, we have been saying games are going later, and the last time we did a prediction how long the game will be, we did do 44 to 60 minutes, and it ended up being only a 42-minute game, I believe. So we're slightly off. You think this one's going to go the distance?
Oh, yeah. 44 plus for sure.
All right. All right. Number of towers killed by 25 minutes? I'm saying 6 to 10. I feel like 6 to 10 is always kind of safe.
Yeah. We'll go with the safe one.
Time of first tower destruction. I feel like 5 to 8 minutes means that you had a really successful 6-minute rune that like just overwhelmed some side lane. Otherwise, it's usually 8 to 11 minutes.
Yeah, I think 8 to 11, you're going to see the Enigma take tower. Terrorblade goes jungle. That makes sense to me.
Whoa, they do hero-specific ones. Number of tiny avalanche toss combos.
What the heck? That is insanely specific. I guess
13 to 18 is what I'm saying.
I'm just going 19 plus. I don't know. 19 sounds kind of low for a 60-minute game that we're going to have here, you know, so.
Yeah, that is true. But then again, Tinies have been doing a lot less comboing. You know, I feel like there's been a lot more toss back and then avalanche type things, you know.
But maybe it counts that, right? I don't know. Like,
yeah, that's true. What is the definition of a combo?
Yeah, like if he tosses a dude in and then he avs him, does that count as an av toss combo? I don't know. Depends how this is coded.
Yeah. Well, I guess we're gonna find out.
We'll see if Gaben is generous today, but I'm going for the 19 plus.
All right, so it's CLR matchups. Alone versus Annihilate. Alone has definitely done a commendable job of standing in, both at the Arlington Major as well as now here in the TINA qualifiers. I saw somebody in chat, just a random chatter, said they were watching Alone's, I believe, Trovo stream. And I think Alone said that if he does well enough, he might end up playing with Wildcard. Not for the last chance qualifier, but like maybe for next year or something like that. So this is definitely a big opportunity for him, if that's true or not, right? Just because just his performance alone off of these two different events has definitely got to give some attention from other teams, at least.
Oh, he definitely looks promising. Like, he has a lot of potential. I'm not going to say he's some like tier 1 mid. I don't think even he's going to say that, but I think he's one of these young guys who's coming in and making a name for himself, definitely with the stand-ins, which is never easy. I mean, he's looked pretty good in a lot of the games. Like, his laning seems solid. He team fights well, spell casts well, plays a bunch of heroes, very high level on them. Pretty much not more you can ask for in a, you know, mid player trying to prove themselves.
Well, you could ask not to rage quit games, which I believe that's what he did on Infamous, right? So. That he drew the wrong kind of attention, perhaps, when he was on that roster. But now it's all the right kind of attention, you know?
He'll fit right in with NA players then, so that's just a plus.
That's true. He fits the culture.
Maybe that's why he's here. I want to play with people who rage more, guys. You're not salty enough. I must take my efforts.
Fire and fury.
Yeah, so I must take my efforts to the saltiest region on Earth.
That is definitely the case. How are our side lanes doing? 12-5 is the top CS right now. That's the Terrorblade in the bottom lane. Terrorblade Dawnbreaker sounds like a pretty tough lane. The fact that he's got the most CS despite the Enigma denies is a pretty decent sign for KBU.
They were definitely killing some early Eidolons here, just using the Dawnbreaker to the maximum. But now the lane's all the way in. This is where it gets tougher. You have to try and get it back. Tiny is super obnoxious, blocks camps, kills couriers. This big pull on Radiant is way worse than the one on Dire too. It's like, it gets pulled way farther up the lane where the trees are often cut and you can mess with it. It will get it off. Super big for him, actually. I'm surprised Alex didn't stop this pull. But yeah, TB's having a pretty decent time here. Give him the solo XP, he'll be super happy. Trade top.
Nice combo, top lane. They hit him with the clap, but the Ursa's winning the trade-off, and it's going to be Sunlight, also known as MMR Tourist, who goes down. Eve, not actually in danger at all, really.
Yeah, the wolf roar, not enough.
I thought he did a Hellbear clap. That was the Intimidate animation. It looks the exact same.
I mean, to be fair, though, this is probably like the worst carry to try and intimidate.
Yeah, seriously.
He just doesn't care about his base damage compared to almost any other Agi right-click carry. That was a little sad for him. Otherwise, I could see a spell being pretty interesting. It's 4-second duration.
It was like, I was watching Sunsfan and Cinder and their cast. They had a Lycan. They were freaking out about the new Howl, nighttime Howl. Bottom lane, they're going on to Divine Llama right now. That slow won't be enough. Well, toss in the Terrorblade into the tower. He'll be fine because he's got such high base armor, but it does make things more interesting, especially as the Dawnbreaker gets a little bit low.
All right, looks like the programming also did not count that as a toss combo, so you actually need the real combos, I guess.
Well, I'm feeling good about my prediction then.
I'm feeling terrible as usual.
Yeah, it's a constant state of being for you. I annihilate. Oh, this is kind of awkward. The cold snap is really ruining him right now.
He has Fairy Fire, yes.
He does have Fairy Fire, but that was a bad trade-off for him. I think he was winning the lane up until that particular little move.
This is a weird matchup. I always think Invoker does better in this matchup than people think. I feel like it's just Invoker favored in general. Sure, you're not gonna like destroy Quap, but it's Quap, right? And then you're just all your spells are super annoying for him. I always liked having this matchup. I know a lot of people do. I mean, they picked it here, so there's good reasons. And Alone already up to earn. He's got pretty decent CS, higher net worth as well. So he's won the regen trade. Pretty much everything you want to have happening for you in the first 5 minutes here on mid.
Yeah. I always find it interesting what Quaps do against these Quaswex Invokers, because it feels like Shadow Strike you can't actually do enough to push him out of lane. Look at this early rotation from Alone. He TPs, Tornado sets it up, all to be able to get a nice kill onto Doom, and maybe more importantly, some earn charges for this Quaswex Invoker.
That's very nice. I mean, usually you wait a little bit to get the earns, because even if you get earns here, you know, now your TP's on cooldown, you can't really use them, but hell, I mean, you're killing a Doom early, you're taking Devour, which is off cooldown off the map, accelerating your Ursa, who, again, is like the big linchpin for this lineup. Seems fine to me. He didn't lose too much. It's not the greatest rotation in terms of his net worth, but solid for his team.
Well, I mean, I'm wondering if the earn, like surely having the earn charges changes the dynamic between him and the Quap, right?
It definitely helps. I mean, it's just extra pure damage on top of proccing the cold snap. So he's definitely happy about it. I'm just saying it still requires him to use the TP, which is gold, and then walk all the way back to mid. And it's like, it's usually these super early rotations aren't that economically beneficial.
Yeah, sure.
But the payoffs, you know, it's fine here. It's a solid rotation.
Alex is in trouble. Slow down to the hammer. He tried to juke it, but
Full Eidolons.
Chen did a good job holding on to it. The Eidolons do a lot of damage to Realm, but they're going to collect on the bounty here. So they trade health for gold in a way. That's an alchemical combination right there.
Yeah, Terrorblade very happy about that one. This is probably the last chance he has to stand on this lane, I think.
Yeah.
Or maybe he wants to, so they're trying to make the most of it.
Well, if
finishing
they
up this
try
meta
a little bit too hard, they may be running into some heroes here. Sam is going to rotate over, but it's just cookies. As yeah, there was both of them got a little bit too low to fight back.
Now Invoker's rotating down here, so TB is still on the lane, trying to punish it. No meta, no vision for this either, and the earn charges that he got earlier could pay off.
Okay, well, the Dawnbreaker is going to be able to spot it. Looks like he was going for the easy camp pull. Will be dying here to the Invoker most likely, as the Tornado is going to catch him. But it does give the heads up for Realm to, you know, get the hell out. Now is not the time to keep laning, sir. Though he's
staying
stuck
here.
Yeah,
Eidolon's coming.
TP'd. Oh, he tried to plant a tree to block in, but the Eidolons go through and didn't get the vision.
What?
The Eidolons have a smaller model than heroes, so they could squeeze through that little pathway.
I wouldn't have thought about that, but I guess they're skinnier. They've been working out. Then Ice Eidolon just squeeze through the gap.
Oh no, now they're just chain feeding into this Invoker alone. He came down here and got a 5 position kill, but because of KBU's response, or maybe lack of response, they actually net 2 more kills.
I don't know. That's a decent Invoker rotation, right? He's very happy about that one. And meanwhile, Sam gets to get all the XP mid, so he's already level 5. You're trading off some tower damage top, but is this tower that influential for your game plan? Not really. So they're happy to kill this Terrorblade, accelerate their Enigma, who will now take this tower. Right on time with the predictions. Beautiful.
Yep, right in the middle. It'll be very close to 9:30, right in the middle of our prediction. See, no, we know what we're talking about a little bit sometimes.
I mean, I pretend to at least. That's worth something.
Yeah, you pretended well enough on a pro team, so you could definitely fake it here.
I did it for years.
Yeah, if you're doing it with high-level Immortal NA players, you could probably do it for the fans, no problem.
And if you're high enough MMR, no one asks you. They just let you in, you know?
That is true.
All right, finish one of these towers, though. You know, I do want the points here. I do want the points.
Yeah, the Enigma's going to do it. Nobody's going to stop him. And Annihilate also brought that top tower pretty low as well. So it looks like KBU is going to be able to get a trade-off. As I don't think Wildcard's going to contest.
So this is where Wildcard want to control the flow of this game. They can be the slightly faster lineup. They have the Summons Hero and the Enigma. They have the Ursa and Invoker, 2 very fast cores in terms of you want to get early skirmish power into Roshan. Wouldn't be surprised to maybe see Wildcard try and clash onto this mid tower, because what's defending it, right? You have Scorched Earth, but it's a Brown Boots Midas Doom. Sure, the net worth looks fine for KBU here, but the actual fighting power isn't nearly as good. It's pretty much Sonic Wave. That's it. Their supports are very low level as well. I would really like to see Wildcard play around this Invoker, play around the Enigma, maybe even combine them, and just abuse the fact that you have the better early spells. That said, double earn. Come on, guys. I don't know about this one.
That is really weird that Divine Llama win and earn.
Yeah, I think he just forgot about it here. I mean, it's okay. Like, at some point, you can use it in the early game. You'll get different charges, and then you can sell it at some point. I think people sometimes overrate, like, oh, this is just GG, you know? But
yes, I'm totally down with that. I agree, because you can get different charges, and if you both get a different charge, then boom, 4 earn charges. That's pretty good.
Yeah, the downside though is, again, I think the game plan is like Enigma's not going to be skirmishing much on his own.
Yeah,
it's mainly when he combines with Invoker. So in this game, I do think he kind of just little mental misstep, and it's going to pay a price.
Annihilate just jumps right in for the Dawnbreaker ultimate to go down, but they have detection. They drop a sentry, but now with Sam going out, they do manage to hit the Bushwhack of the Sonic Waves. They finish off alone, and it looks like the hot globs of fire from Sam do get the counter kill onto Chen, excuse me, but a 1-for-1 trade-off still.
Big kill to get. Anytime you can kill this Quas Wex in the early game, you feel super nice about it. Resets him back to 0 charges as well. Did finish up Midas, so he will be scaling into that late game territory, and you know, he's not rushing Vessel here, so the double earn isn't going to be as punishing.
And they do kind of need to do that punish, because I feel like Wildcard's doing a better job of playing all 3 lanes and really maximizing the economy gain right now. Ursa's not really letting up on this top lane. He pushes it in, goes back to farm jungle repeatedly. The Enigma's hardcore pushing out bottom lane. So it feels like they gotta make some successful moves.
They're definitely getting more out of the map.
Shot's gonna slow down this Tiny. One of the big advantages of Tiny, though, just a huge amount of HP for a support.
He's only level 4, though.
Yeah, he's level 4. He's got 1,000 HP with an infused raindrop on top of that. That is something wrong with that.
He's a tanky boy. I guess Sam took the tome, because Sam's almost level 8.
Yeah.
Which seems very high here, which I think is fine. Like, it's okay to be a little greedier on the range supports than the melees and just catch up through the fights. But they do have to give this Tiny some prioritization, which they're going to do now. And it is going to slow the game down a little bit for him here. They're going to farm Triangle with Invoker Midas. Divine Llama is rushing that Octarine again, which we saw him do in the other game. Guess he just likes this build. I mean, the upside of this build is you immediately start getting the cooldown reductions, so you get more Eidolons on the map. Your black holes are higher value if you can get them off. Your farm rate increases. And you're pretty tanky. If you join fights, like it takes more spells to bring you down, which in certain games can just mean you can aggressively black hole if there's not too many stuns. I think like I first saw like Mind Control doing this build a while back, so it's been around for a while. It's kind of interesting to see him bringing it into these games. It's a very, it's like a long payoff build.
Yeah, I was going to say it's a carry focus build on Enigma, right? Because it's definitely, the Octarine is kind of in a way a farming item that allows you to get to BKB, Blink Dagger, Lincolns, all that good stuff.
And then once you get there, you're like insanely strong because you have this big CER on top of everything. So you also have the extra cast range. Extra cast range is very nice on this hero. Makes the black holes easier. You literally have 4 spells, right? So can't be bad. And again, it sets up for the tempo they want to play. Like they have this Battle Fury Ursa, they're gonna have Octarine Enigma, which means he can join the early fights just off the tankiness and play with his Invoker, play for the early Roshan capability. I can dig it in this game.
Well, Battle Fury on the Ursa, pretty well timed, so Eve is gonna start taking off net worth wise and eclipsing this Terrorblight by a good amount. Realm is pretty far behind in net worth. Lowest core of everybody? How did that happen? He's had 1 death, but still.
He's just been relegated to Triangle. It doesn't have a lot of lane farm. Been soaked up by Queen top and Doom. You're gonna sit in bottom, which he does have BKB on this Doom, so they're trying to kick the Violama out of here. Looks like they will catch him.
They drop a ward to be able to spot him. He turns around and tries to catch him with a bushwhack. It made sure there was no chance there. They even had the follow-up there. They do have Sam, who's trying to land some shots on Warden. Warden getting outside of the range, though, is not going to be brought down this time by the Mortimer Kisses.
Well, that's a nice little smoke. I didn't even have to use Doom for it, and they get the black hole on top. Ambitious black hole attempt. I think that Donald would have destroyed him no matter what. So he has to think about it. The downside of this Octarine build, that Donald's going to be pretty good for a long time. But I guess it's lower cooldown, so, you know, it's up in another 100 here.
Radiant are scanning.
Trying to catch this Doom. MMR Tourist 1 step ahead of them. Plays it defensive while his BKB is on cooldown. They do get the pick off on Sam. He was trying to do some shenanigans. I mean, he gets a heads up for Divine Llama. It's really important for this Enigma not to die again, especially since he TP out to lane.
Yeah, you don't want to die with this Octarine build. It's like Midas build. You want to have maximum uptime for this item to go to work and increase your farm rate. Just don't get too greedy here.
Chilling out.
Did buy space for Alex to farm this whole time and gets Philosopher's Stone on top of it. So he is closing in on Blink, which might be the green light here for this wildcard lineup to, again, get this mid-clash going, which will open up the Roshan. I think these are the 2 objectives that will progress their game the most. They also have Blink on Ursa, which helps. Maybe it's just too hard to run into this mid-objective, though.
Yeah.
With Doom up, with Meta up. I can see it being a little spooky. Still, I think it's the right play to make, and they're going to smoke here, even before the tiny blink.
I always find these games kind of funny. I know like both teams seem pretty content with the pace of farm, which says that you just have different ideas about Dota, right?
Yeah,
like,
I mean, someone's wrong.
Yeah, so and someone's going to end up being wrong, right? And who's that going to be? Nice Sunstrike that spots the Doom, but no one's actually close enough to catch it. And I can see both points. I mean, there's a Battle Fury Ursa. He's farming away. There's no big problem with them taking more time to farm up. They've got a Hand of Midas on an Invoker, an Octarine Enigma. They've definitely built and itemized to, you know, just scale into a really good mid game. So there isn't necessarily a rush for them to make big moves. But as you said, the Blink Dagger is definitely an opening of the floodgates, perhaps, and we could be seeing a lot more action. As the jump forward, they get the Doom immediately out to the Invoker with the Sonic Wave on top. Eve does manage to get off the Enrage, though, before that, so the damage wasn't there. The Cookie, the toss back at the same time, and Avalanche that catches two. They have really good Mortimer Kisses, but it's not enough damage. These heroes are just a little bit too tanky for that. So, really nice pickup. They get 2 kills. Unfortunately, didn't get the Ursa, but still, a very nice move by KBU. And all of that was without Realm, too, so.
Very nice reveal of the Doom Blink Dagger there. Pretty much getting the best target outside of Ursa, which is going to be hard to doom in. Will open up the map, though. You have to think about these cooldowns. Doom on CD, Sonic Wave on CD, Donald on CD. You're pretty much not fighting without these spells. What does Wildcard want to do during this downtime? And they get the punish. Sam's trying. Lands a glove.
He's trying all by himself. Eve is going to join with him. That's the first time I've seen the shard put to like actual really good use there. I feel like most of the time it just kind of screws things up, but it was a nice healthy bit of damage he did to the Doom. Eve finishes him up and now goes straight into the Roshan pit. The shot,
sharpshooter,
gonna be thrown out, just hit Sam. And with the hammer now on cooldown, nothing they can do to get inside the pit, which is a shame because Eve doesn't have Enrage and has no HP. So if anybody just could have ran in there, throw a single spell, they would have gotten a kill.
Well, all the spells on cooldown. Downside of that type of engagement there, you're going to give up the objective for the Invoker kill. Maybe you're happy with, maybe you're not. You know, it's like the scale. Somebody's wrong, but they'll take what they can get. And this is the acceleration Wildcard wants to have happening. And now you have Aegis. You're going to farm with it? You're going to try and pick people off with the Tiny Blink? What do you want to do? That's the big question.
Not letting Sam go away free, but when you go that far forward, you open yourself up to Eve, who has shown that thanks to this Blink Dagger buildup he's willing to jump into these fights, and the Aegis allows it that much easier, but he gets low, and they should be able to finish him off. That's going to be the Aegis down, and the Tiny dead. Can they get him a second time here? They don't have Doom for 10 seconds.
Tornado.
That beautiful tornado hitting onto 3 gives Eve an opening to jump away. KBU looking for anybody else to grab, but it looks like Wildcard, well, they get Sam. Annihilate gets him, but no cores. They couldn't get anything else besides that tower in the 5 position. Still, not bad from KBU, especially, like, I think most people would have considered Wildcard heavy favorites for this matchup, but KBU, I really think people need to give some credit to this long lower bracket run they've been through. They have been through the grinder, man. They've come out a better team for it.
100%. These runs mean you learn a lot along the way. You learn what's working for you and what isn't. You refine it a bit. Like this Doom first pick would not have happened for them early on in this tournament, and it is now. And it's doing some serious damage. So
oh, Warden, he maybe did not want to complete that TP, but it does get them to jump into this fight, and now gives them an opportunity. They've got the Doom onto Eve, rather, as they should be able to chase him down.
Blocks it off.
He got the Enrage before the Doom, so it did not last very long. Yeah. Now they're in trouble. Cookie's going to be able to catch the Dawnbreaker. Eve is ready to jump back in. He'll finish off the Dawn and maybe keep the pressure up now. Chase after them. Alex wants to. He blinks forward. Doesn't see anything, though.
Disjointed fight from KBU there. No Queen of Pain for that. Just not able to get there in time. And yeah, like you said, Doom on the Ursa. That's this matchup, man. Like, if he has ults, just not that effective. Invoker is also a great hero for just joining these fights and buying the space to reset. So Wildcard striking back here a bit. Now they get the smoke as well. Doom on cooldown. Donald on cooldown. Meta on cooldown. This is a very cooldown heavy lineup for KBU. Every time this is down, there's windows to punish. Trying to make the most of it. Double supports running in. Almost going to catch Queen here. Does have BKB already, though. Not the easiest go.
Yeah, they've hit a... Even though they do kind of lose that last fight, they have a very strong timing between the early BKB pickup of Doom, and then now, as you say, the Clop also having a BKB. It means they can kind of shrug off all the disables that allows Ursa to be able to get the damage in the first place.
Oh, they're hitting a decent stride here. And this is what you want to have happen with Doom lineups. Like, you hit this, you know, multiple BKB, and then you can just go in. Fight around the fact that Doom removes so much net worth. They can't man fight you back.
Yeah.
And Alone is going towards that Axe, which, as I was talking about, like, Cataclysm seems pretty good in this game.
Yeah. Black Hole Cataclysm. The ultimate power of darkness and light.
Combine them and you get, what is it? Gray matter? I don't know.
Gray matter.
Annihilation. That's a better one. We'll go with that.
BKB is on its way for Mr. Divine Llama. He's going to get Blink Dagger next. I do feel like Wildcard's idea of like chilling out and farm, I feel like they were the ones who were correct. I don't know how you feel about it, but I'm just looking at this Enigma getting bigger and bigger. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, very late game, you have this BKB Enigma. I mean, the one thing is what you mentioned is this Ag's Doom. Like,
yeah, why did you build a Yules? You should have built an Ags.
I mean, the Yules does help with the Ursa, and in theory, it's a Lincoln's block. But yeah, I do feel like at some point, if you get the Ags on Doom, it changes this game. Like, it makes Enigma's life very hard. That's the one thing I don't know what happens in late game. But otherwise, in theory, it's very good for them.
Tornado hits the Quap.
Mana burn.
He really doesn't want to use the BKB. Nice bushwhack though. Good catch. Doom not going to be able to follow it up immediately, but does manage to get the Doom onto the Invoker. Really good catch. And they've got a double damage on Realm, but it doesn't do anything if he's stuck in the black hole. No answer to that one. He dies. 100-0. I Annihilate on the high ground.
Clipped himself
down below, but the Ursa reaches up and pulls him down to hell. Eve with the Enrage chases now with the cookie after the Dawnbreaker as well. Brings him down. MMR Tourist will be able to TP out from Divine Llama after the Malefice, so he'll be able to get out. Another win in team fights for Wildcard Gaming.
Triple BKB there. BKB Black Hole, no contest. That's that Doom on Invoker. Yeah, you can Doom him, but what about the other two? That double damage Terrorblade was going to destroy that fight if that didn't hit. So very well coordinated by Wildcard. And yeah, Danny comes in at the end and cliffs himself. I don't know. I could see it conceptually being pretty good, but he kind of just trapped himself for the kisses. Wasn't what he was looking for.
Yeah, that was a bit unfortunate. When did he use his BKB? Oh, I guess when he jumped in right here on the Tiny. Yeah, it's unfortunate. He probably expected some Tiny spells, but Tiny died. The Invoker was doomed, so he didn't actually need that BKB at all. If he has it here, maybe it could have been okay.
And this Invoker was just walking it off, right? Like, he walked so far with this Doom that it forces another round of spells and that Quap Link to finish him.
Yeah. And that is
an annoying lineup.
That's been a big problem for them, right? The Ursa walked off the Doom earlier. The Invoker does it for a long period of time. They really got
an anti-Doom lineup. Like, this is how you want it to play out. Make these targets hard, and then even if he dooms them, you have ways to reset the fight or stall it out enough for your other cores to deal the damage. Just keep scaling. Like, if all three of your cores in a late game scenario can win you the fight, in theory, you don't care about Doom. That said, he is going this Ags now. You know, I guess you get AoE Doom. You can Doom them all.
Hell yeah.
I mean, this item's good, man. This item's good.
I think it's legitimately broken.
I don't know about broken, but it's good.
It's broken in the late game scenario. The thing is, it's not one of those broken like first item rush sort of deals. So like, you know, I would have preferred the Ags before Yules, but I get it. It's not an item that you should be trying to force. But when you do get it in that 35-minute area, I think it's so good.
I mean, I'm wondering why he went this Yules in if he's going to go the Ags anyway. My only thought could be eventually you get a Wind Waker, which sounds really good in this game.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of nice small things about it, right? I mean, you said it yourself. Good against the Ursa, the Yules on Enrage, mana regen, and movement speed. Oh, nice catch. But can they kill him? With the BKB going away, yeah, he's going to just walk it off and the self-Yules, but the Ursa, he's going to lie in wait and finish the Doom off immediately. Jumps onto the Dawnbreaker.
He's still alive.
He is still alive through all of this one. The Doom is ticking. The Shadow Strike's ticking. Can somebody deny him? He's going to fall. He turns around and block cold. kills him, and he gets the deny. Oh man, they committed everything they had to kill that Enigma, and in the end, the Enigma, he gets the last laugh. He kills everybody else and then gets denied by his teammates.
He's just too tanky, man. This Octarine BKB's got 2,500 HP with Tranquils if he's running off. He's not so squishy. He just baits them all in. Again, if you prolong these fights versus Doom and you force him to chase, his BKB ends. Ursa can just chunk him. Gives a free fight to the other cores. That's the recipe here for Wildcard. Playing it to perfection. They even have a 4-staff on this Tiny now. More ways to disjoint. 4-staff on the Snapfire as well. Very good itemization here. Playing to their lineup strengths and abusing the fact that if Doom cannot stick to the Doom target, the team fight kind of evaporates for KBU.
Second Roshan. This is when you start feeling really good about your Ursa pick. You got a pretty quick Rosh. Now you get the second Roshan, which is going to give you the shard. So now you're constantly going to be popping and rage, which makes Doom's game a whole lot harder until he has that Aghanim Scepter, because he's just constantly status resistance after status resistance. Look at Alex, though. Using the 4-staff to keep up with the Hoodwink long enough. Oh, he's got the shot, but it didn't bounce him backwards.
Tornadoed. Or cold snaps. I don't know. Yeah, he got stuck.
Yeah, it's something
Hunted,
about...
trapped, and it destroyed.
I feel like he should have bounced to the other side of the trees no matter what was happening there, right? Like, stuns don't stop you at that moment.
I don't know. Maybe Tiny is too hard of a rock. You know, it's like he absorbs all the impact, transfers it to himself.
Yeah.
Physics-wise, it makes no sense, but it's
yeah,
Dota,
so to literally just deny your first law of physics. Yeah, okay.
I mean, whatever, man. We live in a realm where, I mean, it's a chipmunk holding a crossbow. I don't think the laws of physics are 100% applying here. You know, we'll take what we can get.
I don't know why that's so funny to me that you called Hoodwink a chipmunk over a squirrel.
Isn't that what she technically is?
I don't know. You could be right.
I think that's the lore, man.
The chipmunk is definitely the more pathetic of the two creatures. So
pathetic. The chipmunk is gallant. It is a noble creature.
What?
The squirrel is deplorable. The squirrel is on
definitely smaller.
Raccoon tier.
Chipmunk is definitely smaller and less aggressive than a squirrel.
And yet a bigger heart, which is what counts for a hero. At least that's what Valve has told me all these years.
What do heroes truly need?
A big gun. That's what.
Yeah, where's that person? Where's that hero? Just
what do you mean? That's Snapfire. Grandma got the shotgun.
Yeah. That's true. And she does sound vaguely southern, so it would fit. She must be American.
What the hell are you saying there, brother?
It's 11 to 18, just smooth over that one. 10,000 net worth lead for Wildcard Gaming. As
be careful there, partner. Might not get invited to that next Arlington major.
The hell are you saying about the North American qualifier, brother?
I don't know what I'm saying anymore. Well, he is packing a bigger gun soon. He's almost to Ags. That is the actual shotgun, right?
Yeah.
Load him up, spit him out. Throw your Ursa in. Sounds pretty good this game. If you throw the Ursa and you hit the Doom or the Quap, he's just gonna insta burst him with BKB Abyssal, which he's closing in on. I mean, hell, he has an MKB on top.
Retreat. Oh! Tornado barely off the mark. Warden's gonna be able to get away. Whew, close call there. I think also that Ags is incredibly good defensively against Doom when it's the single target Doom. With the AoE Doom, you might be stepping forward to try and grab somebody and then get doomed yourself anyway, and it doesn't matter.
Yeah, you might need Aether. And he does have the Ags from Doom. We're going to see this in action. They also have Butterfly on Terrorblade, closing in on BKB. So this is probably like the one big timing they can try and fight back here. Get something going with the surprise of these items. Just need to not get jumped yourself.
Yeah, not get tossed back. That's what Alex is looking for.
100%. They still have Aegis for a minute. So it's not really the time for KBU to try and take the fight. I think Aegis is just way too hard for their lineup.
Yeah,
Until very late.
They got the BKB to finish up, so Realm's got it now.
Yep.
So now's about the time we go for smoke in, let's say, 25 seconds.
That
Smoke out of the
then.
base. Catch him right as the Aegis expires. Surprise. You know?
Yep, 30 seconds on the clock. Time it well and time it good, my friends. This is your chance to get back in this game.
A surprise smoke engagement right as the Aegis expires. 15 seconds left.
Yeah, Lincoln Sphere for what, son? I'm coming.
Yeah, he's coming. All eyes on Mr. MMR Tourist Sunlight, giving himself a name in mockery of the NA region. He's here to take your MMR. Let's see if he can take your spot in Singapore too with this Aghanim Scepter on Doom. Or if Wildcard have all the answers, all the cards up their sleeve.
Wow, that was a crazy good speech.
Well, it didn't lead to a team fight, so it's kind of anticlimactic, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. That's why I let it down gently there. Put it in to rest, where nothing happened as it belongs. But yeah. Counter smoke from Wildcard, thinking they have aces. Invis rune as well. He's gonna grab it. The Violama looking down mid lane where fortunes have been met and destroyed. Do have the Ags on Snapfire. Granny, time to shoot someone in.
Yeah, they've got the nice high double. They got the twin peaks of high ground visions on either side of the mid lane. So if KBU don't have a smoke when they push out, they are very susceptible to being initiated on. I feel like that's the entire game right there, right? It's all about the initiation.
Yep. They're gonna smoke themselves. Still trying to use this butterfly Ags timing. See some spell cast mid. Who's jumping in?
Break. They get the vision onto the high ground. They're going to deal with that. And here comes the Aghanim Scepter, but he doesn't get on top of anybody, really. Now on top of the Doom, goes and chase after the Enigma, but it just feels like a futile chase. He finally gets up to him, darts slowing him down, but look at the cookie. It sends him away. They get on top of the Enigma. Oh, the Enigma black hole from range. Can't Doom that.
Got the Ursa, though.
They do manage to deal a decent amount, though. The Ursa falls, and now Annihilate still chasing after them, despite the Doom counterplay. KBU did get what they wanted, in a way.
How did that work out?
I'm not
it
sure.
Felt like this Doom was just running around forever doing nobody. I mean, that's decent, I guess. Like, you get this huge Ursa kill. Which is, it's going to count as a win. I mean, Quap lives as well. Like, Quap living is maybe the biggest thing in this game. That's the real secret scale from this Radiant lineup, is if she can get to the 5-6 slot late game territory, she becomes an absolute beast in this game. She will close out the fights as long as she doesn't get jumped by Ursa. So a huge teamfight win for KBU in terms of pushing Annihilate towards that late game. They get a gem out of it as well. All things considered, pretty good for how that initiation went.
Yeah.
I'm also curious, does this AoE Doom pop Lincolns when it hits you?
I don't think it should.
It's like a buff, though. So, like, purges all the buffs. I swear it. I thought it popped the Lincolns that they put on the Violama. I mean, not that it matters, but that's kind of an interesting interaction. Like, it might just pop it when you run into the guy. I don't know. I
Annihilate. Oh, he blinks away. He's maybe good. He's fine.
He's Gucci.
That was close, though. It's damn even. Yeah. A refresher next for Deviolama, though. That item may not mean much against this Doom Mags. Like, what's the point of two black holes if you can't get off the first one in the first place?
I mean, he did get one off, so the extra range helps a lot. Octarine paying off in the long run here. And I mean, that was the other thing I was going to mention about this Doom Yules. Like, the Yules was interesting, but the problem is that when you go late game on Doom, I think it's all about which blink upgrade you get and a refresher. Those are like the two biggest late game impact items outside of the Zags. And you run out of mana. Yules is expensive now. It's 175. So, like, I just don't think you have the mana to use Yules in the late game, because you have to blink, like, double Shivas, refresher, double Doom, stomp, you know, it's expensive.
Oh, he just jumps right in there. MMR Tourist He's gonna pop the Doom in
late.
response. He
Does
jumps forward, but the Ursa is demolishing him, and he gets black holed. Wildcard. I mean, shout out to Eve there. He got good vision of them, and he forced something, and the reaction from KBU was so chaotic and messed up that they just stumble into a bad fight.
Yeah, I mean, anytime Ursa can jump anything, it's probably good. Like, he'll just ult and commit, and then you don't even want to doom him. You have to doom yourself, but then there's 4 staffs and all this stuff. Trying to re-engage.
Yeah, he's going back in, but the Meteor's going to do a lot. He does have the KB, but the bash. Oh, Eve hits a perfect time bash. And now they have to full-out retreat, but Alex isn't going to let them go so easy. They do have the Sunder. It's going to kill the Enigma, but against these 4 heroes, how does Realm stop this? The Dawnbreaker's going to help him out, and he's got the ultimate too.
With him.
They can't do any damage during this period of time. And I force staff away, but he's going to be slowed down by the hammer a little bit. The meta falls away. He's just a melee hero now. Oh, Realm's got to run, but he can't make it out. He's going to be slowed down and kited for days, and your evasion doesn't matter. Eve will cut through it with his MKB now.
Slap, slap, slap. Fuzzy Wuzzy lives through it all and claims the heads. As Ursa's out of control. I mean, nice turn, though, to try and salvage this situation, because otherwise you're just giving up this Roshan, and this is Refresher Shard Rosh. Absolutely deadly with the heroes they have. Invoker probably going to take it here. Did reveal that Hex at the end of that, but that's now double Hex, double Black Hole, whoever you want to give it to. Big team fight wins for Wildcard, pushing into this late game here. In another fight where Queen of Pain goes down. Again, they really need the Queen to live through these fights to give them a chance, because Terrorblade's going to fall off here. Doom is, I mean, he's struggling, man. He can't do it all himself. He's causing a lot of chaos in the fights, but ultimately Ursa just shreds him. Even if he's sitting there with Doom, is it even, it doesn't even feel good dooming yourself in a way, right? Like, you doom yourself, you blink in, Ursa destroys you, and then there's no doom.
Yeah,
like, you'd rather doom him.
And I think their answer to it was the Aghanim Scepter on Dawnbreaker, right? Like, it would give the evasion to the Doom, but because the MKB pickup, because of how far ahead Eve is on net worth, like, he's got the counterplay. So they don't have the defensive element for Doom, and they also just don't really seem to have the catch or stuns as well to, like, keep these heroes in place for the Doom.
And it's also the itemization, right? The double 4 staff is super good from these wildcard supports. Just being able to kite out the initial jump even a little bit helps so much. And not to mention, like we talked about, these cores are just hard to catch. Ursa's running around with Aegis and Rage, blink, stomping half the time. Invoker's hasted in some ghost walk. You can't even see him. It's like, it's pretty annoying. Enigma just hides in trees somewhere. And you don't have a mechanism to force the fight. Like, the fight is coming to you in the form of Bear hitting your tower. So you can't force the engagement. Your poke isn't amazing. You don't have a displacement spell to, like, toss him in or anything. It's a difficult game for Sunlight to find the jump. He's hiding in the trees, maybe trying to
Dooms himself now.
There he goes.
He goes for it. He's going to stick on top of the Ursa. With the shot coming out from the Hoodwink, they've definitely got the damage. That is going to be life number 1. And look at the jump forward, but the Black Hole responds. Oh,
Cataclysm.
Cataclysm. Boom! Down falls KBU. They lose there terribly. No buyback there. Wildcard can keep up the pressure now.
That's a goddamn refresher shard right there, my friend. Like, just insta-pop it. Bam, bam. The burst from hell raining down. That's one way to delete a lineup. Dear Lord. If anybody said Roshan wasn't good, tell them to watch this game.
Toss back onto Annihilate without the Terrorblade, and now without the Quap. Wildcard. And looking like they could just end the game now in one fell swoop.
I don't know if you're mentally coming back from that, man. That double Cataclysm just erased all the momentum KBU had going into this series. Sends a message.
Clip him with the tornado. Divine Llama jumps forward. He's got a second Black Hole. He doesn't even need to use it, though.
Cleanup duty at this point, man.
Yeah. They're going to finish off Megas here. So KBU, they're going to have to play up against Megas if they want to keep this game going. I don't see how they fight, or they can't win a fight. They haven't won a fight, 5 versus 5 in a while. I don't know how they do it without the Quap.
It's impossible. Don't even have Doom up yet.
Realm
Still getting jumped.
to be able to get on top of the Enigma, but Devilom, instant response from him. Hits the black hole. Now, there was no damage on top of that one, so Realm is going to be able to stick on top of Devilom and actually might be able to get the kill until Ursa shows up. My God, that Ursa just ripping everyone to shreds right now. Torn asunder, and that is it.
Wildcard, man. They are pushing through this bracket. Only one series lost. They felt very confident going into this. Very happy after that one. Pretty much a beautiful execution of their lineup and strategy. I mean, an anti-Doom draft. You push it to the late game. You itemize for it. The build-up and the progression of all the items makes perfect sense. You get the Kaidin from the supports. The Octarine pairing up for the BKB refresher late game for Enigma. The Ags Doom posed a little bit of a problem, but honestly, it felt too hard for him to stick on people. And the guys he was sticking on, well, it's a fuzzy wuzzy.